Jack, are you prepared to take the oath of office as president of Sephardic Bikur Cholim?
Yes.
In the presence of honored guests and the members here assembled, you do solemnly promise and pledge that you will faithfully execute the duties of the president to the best of your knowledge and ability, and assume full responsibility for this honorable organization.
Yes.
By the authority vested in me, and I now proclaim that elected officers and board members duly installed. Congratulations and thank you for your devotion. Mr. President, the podium is now yours, and the synagogue is in your capable hands.
Thank you all very much for coming. The Gemara teaches us the concept of potchin bichvod achsanya. We begin our remarks by thanking our host. So our host today is, of course, as all days, God Almighty. We want to thank Hashem for bringing us together, this wonderful community that we have here in Seattle. We are grateful, and our hearts and minds are glued to the news, I'm sure all of us, of everything that's going on in Israel. And may our soldiers find a victory, and may our hostages all return home. Our other host today, of course, is Sephardic Bikur Cholim congregation, where my family has been blessed to call this congregation home. Now, for my children, they're 6th generation members of SBH, which is really remarkable. And this community here, the people here, have been extremely welcoming to me and Marnina and our kids since we moved here to Seattle in 2020. So we are really thankful for all of you. And there is a lot of work ahead of us, but we are very excited about it. And I look forward to working in this capacity and following the extremely high bar set by Miri Tilson. And I want to just once again, I feel like we've just been on a roll of thank yous, but just one more, really, thank you very, very much for everything that you did. An impossibly high bar, but I'm excited to continue to work with you and the rest of the board. As everyone will hear today, we have our work cut out for us. And Miri is both a friend and family, and when it comes to family, I want to thank Uncle David for that. Take a moment to recognize my Auntie Sally, who drove all the way out here. It's extremely meaningful having you here. And a quick moment to think about my grandmother who passed away this summer. She believed in me, but she always asked very difficult questions, which is I hope what all of you will do also over the next 2 years. But she always struck a good balance with that. And I kind of always envisioned her being here with us on this day, and it is hard to not have her here, but we miss her. And that is really, we're surrounded by family. I feel inspired by the leadership of all of our past presidents, Miri and everybody on that wall, including my grandfather, Albert J. Myman, and his grandfather, right? So my grandfather and his grandfather, Marco Romi, both of whom are on the wall, neither of whom are smiling, I will point out. And I don't know, but Miri is smiling, so that's good. Shalom is for sure smiling. So I think that we will be okay. 2 years ago, Miri and I stood up here to deliver the vision that she had as president and me working alongside her as vice president. This is the third meeting of this kind that I'm speaking at. The first time, I rewatched the video last night, I opened by talking, my portion of the remarks, by talking about the pasuk that is on the grand entrance of the building. It says, V'yasuli mikdash v'shochanti b'tocham. And that is a verse on the Bible of God commanding us to build the Mishkan, to build what preceded the Beit HaMikdash, the tabernacle, exactly, the tabernacle, which is how the Jews and the Israelites, when they were in the desert, that was essentially their tabernacle leading towards the building of the eventual temple in Jerusalem when they came in. And so what it means is, V'yasuli mikdash v'shochanti b'tocham. God says, make me this mikdash, make me this tabernacle, and I will dwell in it. Now, as I had the opportunity, I work in construction, had the opportunity to sit with Robert and the people we're talking about the social hall, that if you're talking about construction plans, you need to talk about how you're going to do it, what materials you're going to use, what is it going to look like. God seemingly skips all of that. He says, build me this mikdash, this holy place, and I'm going to dwell in it, and then only afterwards do the verses tell us how it is to be built and what is to be built with. So the question is asked, this one might think that this is delivered out of order. And the answer that is given is that it's not out of order, because when we build a mikdash, and our synagogue is a mikdash, this is our tabernacle, this is the place where we come to gather as a community for reasons of spirituality and to serve God and to be together, right? The important part is that God dwells there. That's the most important. What it's built out of, what the physical manifestation of it is, what materials are built, all of that is secondary. The most important thing is that God dwells among us. And that has been the theme of what we have done over the past few years, building up that mikdash, making sure that it fits in the 4 categories. Does anybody remember the 4 categories we laid out 2 years ago? Fun, food, spirituality, and safety. All of those are tenets that go towards building a complete mikdash, a complete place that we all have together in order to serve God, become closer to God, and be better Jews. Those themes, those categories have been the driving force behind all of the strategic initiatives that our board of directors has taken for the past several years, and will continue to be, because we have a tremendous amount of work to be done. And I am very excited to be surrounded by an extremely capable board. I will note that no one this year is coming off of our board. We have one person joining, Jacob Owen, who is celebrating his 20th anniversary, so he's not here today. So we have one addition to our board who is joining, but no one is coming off, which is good. That means that there's consistency, there's cohesion. The board has made some challenging decisions together over the past couple of years, but we do a good job, I think, leaving any disagreements that we have until we vote together. All of our votes have been overwhelming, with overwhelming majority. And even if sometimes we disagree on things within the board, we come together and we stand as a united front, and we have a terrific amount of people who are able to do that together. With the selection of officers, I want to take a quick moment to thank past President Shalom and Marcy Hannon, who is with us, not physically today. We got Coach representing her, looking terrific, who have volunteered to serve on the executive committee. Thank you very much. And if the board votes you to be able to do that at the next meeting, then you'll have that privilege. So now it's time for you to start whipping votes. When we look at some of our accomplishments the last year, there is a tremendous amount to be proud of. We stood here 2 years ago, we were coming out of COVID, we really didn't have very much in the way of programming. Not only has programming picked up within SBH, what I think we are most proud of is the amount of programming that we're doing together with other synagogues. It's amazing to see Ari here, president of BCMH. Thank you very much for coming. The partnership that we have had, especially and mostly in security. I've always said that we essentially function as one campus. If there's a threat there, there's a threat here, and vice versa. With BCMH, with Or Chadash, with Ezra B'Sereth, with the Israeli Minyan, at any opportunity that we have had to collaborate and work together with organizations, we have taken that. And the programming that we have seen over the last 2 years, we have brought ourselves out of the pandemic, and it's something that really one might even forget ever happened from a synagogue front. So extremely proud of that. When it comes to safety and security, it is crazy to think that at one point we didn't have the air conditioning, the new HVAC. That's one of the accomplishments of this board. The HVAC system that has been installed, in the main building, keeping us cool. Yes. Keeping us cool. Special thank you to Sam Bhavani for his help with that. Keeping us cool on hot summer days, improving our airflow. It is a safety and comfort issue, which we are grateful for. The new camera system also that has been installed, which has been very helpful to monitor who is coming on and off of our campus. One main initiative that you can look forward to us doing during this term is building a fence around our perimeter.
Hakarat Hatov, which means gratitude and thanks, is a core value of our lives as Jews and Sephardic Jews, and particularly at SBH. And it is incumbent upon us to take this opportunity to express gratitude And thank you to Gabai, Larry Elmo, and Chazan Frank Varen for their extra hard work over the last couple of months since we have been without a full-time rabbi.
Today we have Una here, who is our office manager, who has been helping out with our day-to-day. The programming and the safety concerns, getting ourselves to become a 21st century organization, installing the Shul Cloud software, QuickBooks Online. There is a lot more to be done, as well as the role of an executive director. Right? We need someone who is working on behalf of our organization. God willing, we will hire a rabbi. That rabbi will focus on being our spiritual leader. Una does a wonderful job being our office administrator. We have a lot more strategic things that need to get done, both in terms of admin and operation. Development, we need to figure out a way to pay for this fence and the many other exciting opportunities that we have. A focus on our membership, both the existing membership and current growing membership, security, facilities, grounds, the list really goes on and on. We started interviewing for this role a couple of years ago. We took a break from it as we were working on other things, and it is my absolute pleasure and excitement to announce that today, as a part of our strategic staffing update that we have to share with you, the Board of Directors has offered the role of Interim Executive Director to Miri Tilson, and she has accepted, and she is going to continue to bring her talents. Just thank Reggie for the wonderful job that she has done. That was Rabbi Maimon's vision. Rabbi Maimon's vision, even having not grown up in Seattle, I know that was Rabbi Maimon's vision. Rabbi Maimon's vision was to focus at every given opportunity on our youth, and it's been wonderful to have had Reggie back home to give us the opportunity to do that properly, so really, thank you, Reggie. Do one more quick thank you to really the people in this room. When guests come and visit Seattle, they remark on the fact that so many people have the same names, but the first names and the last names seem to repeat themselves often over and over and over again. And it's not surprising that this week's parasha is Shemot, which we translated into the book of Exodus in English, but really Shemot means names. This board, what we are going to be, our driving focus, our mission is this community, the perpetuation of our names, and making sure that we are able to carry the names that have built this institution into the future and holding that responsibility. My great grandfather, Rabbi Abraham Maimon, who moved here from Turkey, you can find on the Sephardic Heritage website, there's a picture of a siddur that he had. And inside of the siddur, he says that it's a siddur of his. Our sages tell us to write your name inside of your books, lest someone find it in the marketplace, they'll know who to return it to and where for it to go. And he signs it the young and humble Abraham ben Yaakov Maimon Samach Tet. I cannot claim to be Samach Tet, but thank you, Rena. We stick together, sister. Me and you both, right? Well, I cannot claim to be Samach Tet. What I can claim is that as we continue to write our names, both in our Siddurim and our books and on the history of SBH, we have a ton of work ahead of us, and I'm so excited to do it all together with you, and I'm grateful for your vote of confidence.